For anyone watching, once again, these are games being currently worked on at the University of Utah, the graduate program, Entertainment, Arts, and Engineering. So here. Weird Hat Fight beta testing, baby. Here we go. All right. I have a buddy here hanging out with me. Josh, as we get going, why don't you tell us a little bit about your game? I'm going to just do a search for it. If I just search for Weird Hat Fight on Steam.
It is not publicly available on Steam yet.
No, sadness
Soon, we're trying that. Steam has issues with our description for our game, so we keep updating that and sending it back to them, and they find a new issue with it.
Weird Hat Fight. You've got the title. There you go. That's 10% of the way there. So let's get started. So do you want to give the razor pitch for your game? Let the audience know.
Weird Hat Fight is a game where you use magical hats to battle your friends to death. That's our game. It's a party game with our main gimmick being that you gain all of your powers and combat potential with magical hats that you pick up off the ground. And then you try and punch your friends off the edge of a cliff, essentially.
And the other beautiful thing that you are using Steam Remote Play for that. What are the perks? What are the pros and cons to Steam Remote Play?
So Steam Remote Play Together is a feature that Steam provides, which lets multiple people join off of one person, even if only one person owns the game remotely. So it lets us build the game as a local multiplayer game without writing any netcode. And then we can use that feature to allow other people to join and make it multiplayer over the internet.
I love it. That is pretty awesome. One of the pros too, it means you don't have to have a server, right? Whoever's hosting the game is the server essentially. So what are some cons to remote play? Any tech issues or issues that arise from doing it this way?
I mean, it's never going to be quite as good as if we made proper multiplayer. It's pretty good, but it is still literally sharing and streaming the screen to other people and then taking the inputs and bringing it back. So there is more delay than there would be otherwise. Our game doesn't require super responsive input, so it feels fine with it. But it was something like a fighting game like Tekken or something that probably wouldn't fly.
So just launch it?
Yep.
Say play? Okay. Okay, made with Unity. Yep. Beautiful.
So once it's open, just open the Steam overlay.
Okay.
And there should be an option to invite it to, I believe it says like share the game with Steam Remote Play or something.
All right. Shift tab.
Yep.
All right. Oh, invite to watch. Okay, remote play together. There we go. That is fantastically easy, actually. Mm-hmm. And this is controller supported, right? Yes, because there I am. So where are you at, buddy? There you are. Awesome.
It gives me a couple prompts I have to click through.
Boom, 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 boom. Punching sounds. That's awesome. So anybody watching, incredibly easy to get set up, actually.
Yeah, then we can just start the game.
Hey, let's go.
You can just, yep.
There I am. I'm yellow. I like the jiggling knees. It's almost like they're just dancing out there to the music, you know?
Mm-hmm. So one of the nice features with Steam Remote Play is even if we're not friends, you can actually share just a URL link and anybody can join via that.
So that's super helpful, I think, especially for like Twitch streamers, right? So if I hopped on stream, I didn't have friends on Steam, but I said, hey, my viewers, here's the link, right? I can share that. I think that would actually be huge for those type of gameplay. And actually, that solves one of my problems of not having any friends, right? As a streamer, it would be really fun to play with my viewers, right?
Yeah. So now we're good. We can start the game.
All right.
Which level do you want?
Let's just go with the arena. I mean, either the random or arena, but let's try them all.
So here's the control screen. Not up there for a ton of time, but.
All right, here we go. So a little bit of laggy to start, but that's okay.
Somebody ran off a cliff while I was doing that. That is unfortunate.
Wasn't me. I'm still okay. Okay, now it's working better. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, I said it's a really high quality. Guess I can't do that and watch your stream at the same time.
Yep. Okay.
So since last time you've seen it, we've added a lot of feel features to it.
Uh-huh.
So.
Do you have any plans for the feel or for the introduction of like the different hats, etc.?
Yeah, the hats are definitely going to drop in from the sky when we have time. I'll probably actually try and get that implemented today, in fact.
Oh, you knocked me off. So if any guests are just hopping in, Ashley for one, if you haven't checked out Weird Hats lately, it is one of the grad games we're working on. And this is actually helpful. It is a multiplayer game over Steam Remote Play, but one of the things they just mentioned that got me kind of excited, they don't seem to care about, but I do, right? So this is important, is as a streamer, Ashley, if you are playing this game and you don't have friends because you're just at home, You can actually just share a link to your chat. You don't have to be friends with them, and people can just hop in and play against you through Steam. And I think that's pretty awesome from the streaming standpoint. Solves one of those problems I have for student games all the time where they ask me to play multiplayer games, and I say I don't have any friends. I also don't have time to coordinate with my friends, but I do have random strangers on Twitch, right? That can hop in and play with me. We can do these battle games. They're also in the chat, so they can trash talk me and all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty awesome. I think that's actually a huge feature.
Oops, it looks like nobody won because I killed myself at the last moment.
Oh, no.
So
Well,
first place has the empty pedestal.
I like last time when someone was just running off into the distance, into the sunset.
That was pretty funny. We're still definitely working on the endgame results screen a lot. That's heavily work in progress.
What does the team see as the next big push? What new? My biggest thing I think with the hats, like the flamethrower one, obviously like is kind of the best one right now as far as like effects and readability and all that goes.
Yep, you jumped off a cliff again, I think.
Is that me again? And partly it's like I have a hard time knowing which player I am.
Yeah, that's something we're still trying to work on. It's unfortunately a bit hard to do because there's no character selection or anything.
Right.
So, like, while they're visually distinct, and once you know which one you are, you don't lose yourself.
Yeah. I think part of it's like some of the games I'm yellow, some of them I'm blue, and so it's like if there would be a way to make that persistent. This is awesome. I also it's like you talked about the UI. Do you plan on getting like hit points and kind of stuff that pop up above the player to like help indicate when you're hurt, etc.?
That would be definitely be a good thing. We're right now we're, as you can see, it's working again this time. I don't know why it didn't on the last one, but as you do damage, you can see there's a lot more impact on the on things that it flashes, it vibrates the controller, it does screen shake. It actually pauses time for a moment. That's a glitch. It actually pauses time for a moment. Though I'm thinking of removing that because that makes the game feel laggy. I might just have to work on that harder.
And then are like you have some of the sproings, like even getting the flame sound on the dinosaur. I know these seem like nitpicky things, but I think for this game, every one of those little juicy things is going it's going to have such a huge effect. Like I can't underestimate like how critical juice is to your game because it is a multiplayer game with interactions. So I would almost say that should be the mantra for the whole team going for the next couple of weeks is let's juice this up and see where we can get it to.
Yep.
Because all the core stuff is in. I mean, it's in. Now it's just getting it readable and juicy, but this is awesome.
That's really the only two things we are working on right now are juice and then critical things that are not necessarily gameplay critical, but still need to be in the game.
Yep.
Like, for example, options menus. Not big exciting features, but still necessary.
Right. Professor Ashley says it looks super fun to play. And then she also asked, Froggy ability, Dragon Head seems OP. What's the balancing like?
Yeah, so each of them, I'm actually really happy with the balance right now. Each of the hats has its own distinct usage. So the Dragon Hat is really good at doing large amounts of damage to somebody at once, but it's really bad at actually killing people because you only kill people by knocking them off the stage. I'll go to the Frog Hat last. The Night Hat is really good at knocking them off the stage, but it's a high risk, high reward hat because it's really hard to control yourself with it, and you can really easily kill yourself with it. And it's also rather easy to dodge compared to most of the hats. The Bunny Hat is somewhere in the middle. It's reliable. Vacuum Hat breaks everything, so try not to use that. The Bunny Hat is kind of neutral. It's good for doing damage, but it's also really good for avoiding them. So like if the Night Hat's charging at you, you can just jump up in the air. And it's really good for avoiding the other hats. And then the Frog Hat is the ultimate counter to all of the hats. It doesn't do anything in and of itself, but it lets you steal any of the other hats. So if you use it well enough, you can counter any other hat by just stealing the hat and charging back at them with it. So if the Night Hat's charging at you, just dodge and steal their hat, and then they've left themselves vulnerable to immediately be charged right back. So let's talk about each of them. So the dragon one, I think to Ash's comment, it's very readable as far as giving the damage, etc. The bunny one, so you can get out of the way because you're jumping, and then it has this ground pound effect, right? Yep.
I think one of the biggest things, the bunny that isn't readable to me is I understand jumping up and down The ground pound, it's not clear to me like the area of effect or the
Okay.
damage or how it would help. So this is one of the things I'm talking about. If it did have like kind of a circular pattern that radiated out that kind of showed that area of effect, and then there was an effect like when it hit a player, kind of, you know, Smash Brothers does a good job of that, kind of like the smoke coming out of the player and they kind of shoot off to the side. Having some kind of effect that was like, oh, this really dealt some damage to the other player, would really make me understand clearly exactly what that does, right?
Okay.
And then with the frog hat, that tongue distance you currently have, do you have to be that close in proximity to the other player to steal their...
Yeah, that's the maximum range essentially.
Okay.
So if somebody has a hat, I can. Yeah.
And is that set in stone? Have you because I think one of the things you could do with that one is if that tongue shot out a certain distance, maybe even half the player can filled, would give more, like that's something I think you could balance as a team and decide like how far should that shoot across.
Yeah,
suck
that's
that
definitely
hat
something
off.
interesting to do.
Yeah.
I'm a little wary of making it stronger because the frog hat, while it looks weakest on the surface because it doesn't do anything, is
Right.
one of the strongest hats in the game because it does just counter every other hat.
So I would push on that a little bit and say don't be wary right now, because right now it doesn't read at all to me. It's powerful,
Okay.
And so that's why I say if you have something that's tunable and you can balance easily, even with have one of your engineers put a code in there so you can the distance can be 1 to 20, right?
So somebody go grab the frog hat and try and steal a hat from somebody from halfway across the screen, and we'll see how it looks.
Apparently I'm red.
There of course won't be any visual updates to this, but
Okay. So I'm trying to still. It's not doing anything. Oh.
so let me
Oh, someone stole it from me. I love it.
Yep.
I actually like it. Super fun. I am just, oh, I'll tell you, it does make you mad when someone steals your hat. That's awesome. And yeah, that's great. This is fantastic. I'm not gonna lie, the biggest epiphany today, I'm actually more sold on the remote play. This makes me want to do some play with strangers. Like, I think this is freaking cool.
Yeah, well, feel free to do so. We'd love to hear the feedback.
Yeah.
And if you record it on Twitch, then we'll definitely watch.
Yeah, and it would be interesting, right? Because right now, this is very curated. We have the developers online kind of walking me through readability issues and that kind of stuff. So I think to get like that is actually a really cool, because one of the hurdles that students always have with these type of multiplayer games, honestly, is the playtesting.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to do. So that actually, if you advertise that as a window, is like, hey, play test our game. We'll showcase you on our Twitter. I don't know. Find ways to encourage that blind play testing type of stuff. So that's awesome. Really proud of you guys. Everybody, check them out. Check them out on Steam. When do you go early access? When can we officially share your Steam page?
As soon, whenever Steam actually like verifies this and lets us go, which could be anywhere from tomorrow to a month from now. It's all in Steam's hands.
All right. If anyone has an in at Steam, someone they can email and message, tell them to get on it, get this game approved so we can check it out. All right. I think that is it for today. Josh, fantastic work. You and your entire team. I can really see the love and fun that's coming into this. And for everybody watching, it's only going to get juicier, more updated, and more exciting as we go through the semester.